Alright, so after doing that, I'm simply just joining all these marks together. Okay, joining that to that, and I'm using the longer ruler to join in this part together up onto the skirt length. Up onto the skirt length. Okay. Alright. So now you'll be wondering why I didn't take it all the way down. I'm not taking it all the way down. Now this is going to be flapping up here. And if I were to take it all the way down this way, if I took it all the way down this way, if I flip it up, it will give me this kind of allowance here. Can you see this little opening here? It would have this opening. So I don't always accept those kind of little openings because to me it's not good enough. You know, it gives my work this roughness there. So what I do is this. I just simply bring my hand out a little bit here from the actual slanting. So if you look at it closely, this is the actual line. When we did the line, this was the actual line, which is inside here. But I took my hand out a little bit. So by the time I flip it up over here now, it's going to be actually the same length and measurement with this line. So I'll just work my clothes perfectly. Okay, so I'm cutting it out, then you can actually see what I'm talking about right there. So I just folded it up now. So can you see what I'm saying? Can you see what I'm saying now? I slanted my hand out a little bit. So it gave this place a very close push back to the actual shape in there. So that's the reason why I brought my hand out. So I do that often for my attires. I have to do it like this. So I'm going to be securing this with pins, and I'll cut out the back panel with the zipper area, which is 1 inch zip allowance. I'll cut that out and then show you all the effect on the overlapping slit that will be there also. And then the band. So the band will be cut out, and then we'll be fusing the band to giving the cloth a really very lovely push, a lovely look. Alright, so that's it. So I'm cutting the back panel now and showing us the zipper area with the overlapping slits. Okay, so this is the front panel. So I'm going to cut out the back panel. So I folded it, and I have a very large fold here. So I'm marking it 3 inches right here. 3 inches. Okay, so the 3 inches, I just marked it, and then I'm shifting my front panel to that line. So I've kept it to that line. So I'm marking 8 inches from this line, not the hemming, the skirt length. 8 inches up. So I'm marking that, and I'm taking my hand all straight. Then after I did that, on the zip allowance line that I did, I'm then marking 1 inch up on that line. I'm marking 1 inch up, and then I'm using the ruler to connecting everything together. Okay, like you can see. So I use that ruler to do that. So here I'm just going to make my hand a little bit flexible and then give it a curve, joining back the actual line. Okay, just a little curve, and that's it. So I'm cutting it out as like I'm seeing it with the front panel. So I'm making this place straight, and I'm also cutting out this place straight. So that's it. So I'm cutting it all out exactly the way it is. I'm notching my dart here. Alright, just a very little tiny notch. So I'm doing that notch there. Okay, so I'm cutting every other thing the same way the front panel is. Alright, so cutting it that way, all down. Alright, so I have all that cut out. So here I'm coming to this curve I did here. I'm coming to that curve, and then I'm coming back up here. I'm cutting out this part. So I'm cutting that part out, and after cutting that part out, this part will just be taken down straight. Okay, So that's it. So this is the back panel and this is the front panel. So I'll show you how this plays out when I'm cutting the fabric. So when you're cutting the lining for this, I'll show you, but I want to explain why the lining will look like that. My lining is going to be straight, all the same whole year, but the length down here, instead of it being the actual length of this fabric, it will be 3.5 inches shorter. So it will be 3.5 inches shorter, so it might be coming from here up here as my lining. So by the time I sew it, I push this up and then my cloth looks like this. Okay, so I'll be cutting the lining now and then I'll be showing you that lining.